So the first thing I'm going to say amongst this video, and I got two things to say. The first thing is, yes, my voice is raspy. If you're one regular here, I'm sorry, I've been sick and I'm on the mends of getting better. But two, this is not going to be a political debate video. I have my views, you have your views. Let's keep them to ourselves. But if you want to chime in on the action about what you think when it comes to these tariffs and how it's going to be affecting the gig economy, that I highly welcome below in the comments. Now, for those that do not know, my name is Ash, and I am a gig worker here on the south shore of Montreal, Quebec. And currently I work for Uber Eats, for DoorDash, and for Skip the Dishes, and previously I used to work for Instacart. Now, when it comes to the whole US trade war, Canada trade war, tariffs, whatever you want to call it, I highly do believe that it's going to impact the gig economy. Now, there's some reasons why, and I also have some recent gig work that I've done that kind of surveys it. Now, when I go out for gig work, I multi-app. I'm gone out for about 20 to 25 hours per week. And I have two particular weeks that seem to show some numbers that are pretty compelling to see. For example, February the 17th up until the 24th, on Uber Eats, I made $215 for 14 hours. On Skip the Dishes, I was on the apps, didn't get too many offers, but amongst there, I got about $9. And then amongst DoorDash, on that same week, the 17th to the 23rd, I got about $48. Now, if we fast forward to when these tariffs took place, about March 10th to March 17th, I was out with Uber Eats for 14 hours, and I made $199. If we look amongst my Skip the Dishes for that week, I made $126. And then if we look amongst DoorDash, where's DoorDash here? Here we go. I made $34. Now, here's something that I'm noticing here. Now, you comment below if you've noticed something. Uber Eats is the most dominant in my market, and a $50 buffer, roughly $58 buffer, that's not a big deal. But to see a difference amongst Skip the Dishes, that is a big deal. Now, I have an acceptance rate with Skip the Dishes anywhere between 0% to maximum 50%. But what a lot of people think is Skip the Dishes is a Canadian-based company. But what I've noticed is in the recent weeks is it's just like what you see at the grocery stores. You see at the grocery stores, people are buying more Canadian products if you're in Canada, probably American products if you're in the US. But what I'm noticing here is when it comes to the gig apps, people are trying to choose the Canadian-based gig app, or what they assume is a Canadian-based company like Skip the Dishes. Now, am I still getting orders across Uber Eats? Yes, I have been sick, so I won't lie. I've gone out less, but I have seen that Skip the Dishes is increasing and Uber Eats is decreasing. Now, reasons why I do believe that this trade war is going to be impacting gig work above and beyond is because, one, there's going to be job losses. When there's job losses, a lot of people will turn to the apps for a quick fix. If they're going to be turning to the apps, we are going to get oversaturated in every single one of the markets, and it doesn't matter if it's throughout Canada or if it's throughout the US. But two, because of, as of right now, 25% tariffs, what's going to be happening is the cost of living is significantly going to be going up. And I'm not just talking about steel or aluminum or any of that stuff. It's all going to go up. So as these things are going to be going up, people will have less spending money. But additionally, think about it. If the cost of food is going up, do you think the restaurants are going to decrease their prices? Because I don't think so. And if the restaurants aren't going to be decreasing their prices, then that means these gig apps for the consumers that are on there buying things, that's going to go up. And if that's going to go up, do you think that the consumers can afford the fees plus 25% plus any dramatic increase that could be amongst these apps? I truly don't believe so. Now, the only thing that seems to be working in my favor as a gig worker is the price of gas has gone down here in Canada to the point that I've gotten it as low as $1.42 per liter, and it's even supposed to go downwards. But for me, in my point of view, there is no economic sense of value in that if when I'm going out, I'm still dishing out gas and I'm going to be getting less orders. However, like I said, as of right now, there's been an increase on skip the dishes. Now, I don't know as the week progresses, and just so you know, today is it's Tuesday, but the dates, let's see, today is March 18th. So I plan on going out tomorrow to do gig work, but I don't know how this week is going to progress. As I have seen, the weekends are getting quieter. It also could be the fact because we're starting to go into springtime and people are going to be going out and starting to enjoy themselves more. But I can see that the food industry altogether as a whole is going to start going down the drain. And I hope that I'd be wrong, but I mean, it's just, I guess I can say it's a little bit of common sense on how this is going to pan out for us. A lot of people think that going to these gig companies is a safe bet when you're losing their jobs or being laid off right now. But if you're turning to gig work to bail out of what's going to be happening, I highly, highly do not encourage it. For anybody that's signing up for Skip the Dishes or DoorDash, across the board, everybody tells me it's a wait list. I am lucky enough that I signed up 3 years ago and I only got put on a 3-week wait list with Skip the Dishes, and ever since then I've been plugged into the apps. But I want to know what you think. Again, this is not a political debate. I'm not talking politics. I'm not talking right, wrong, any of that stuff. I'm just talking about the difference between doing gig work now, since these tariffs have come into place, versus beforehand. Now, I'll say this much, and I'll post-date this later on. Typically speaking, when I go out and do gig work anywhere between 20 to 25 hours, I have made anywhere from $500 up until almost $600 for 1 week. And the good part for me is that that doesn't factor in things like YouTube and Amazon. So I'm beyond grateful. And because of that dollar figure, can I take a pay cut? Yeah. But am I looking to get a pay cut to the point that I believe is going to happen? No. Right now per day, I make anywhere between $100 to about $140 a day, which is pretty decent. What I see it being going down to, I can easily see that sliced to half. Easily. If you think that you can live off of $60 or $70 doing gig work per day for 5 hours of work, that's what I do, then that's great for you. It's not too shabby for me because of my other supplemental income, but I do not encourage people to turn to gig work to make up for what's going to be happening if you're getting a job loss, because realistically, I don't think the salary is going to cut it for many people. Now, if you're seeing it different in your market, please let me know in the comments below. As of right now, Skip the Dishes has been taking the lead. I have to do more studies amongst this to see how that happens, but that was basically taking 1 week about a month ago versus 1 week since the tariffs have come into place. And I noticed because people do assume Skip the Dishes is Canadian because it's only in Canada, that it's a Canadian company that they're going for, but it's on the contrary. But you let me know what you see in your market, and I'll catch you lovelies in the next video.